Perfecto,
Okay.
perfecto.
Perfecto.
Muchas gracias.
Rubén, Xavier, this is Derrick. They are from Headbangers LA.
Whoa.
Hi, man. How are you, Derrick?
Hello. I'm fantastic. Are you in LA or no?
No,
No,
I'm in Argentina. Javier is in Ecuador.
I am in
Okay.
Ecuador, yeah.
Oh, cool. Vale,
How are you,
vale.
man? Thank you very much
I'm
for your time in the
fantastic.
first place.
Thank you, man. I'm fantastic.
Very, very nice to meet you. Huh?
Yeah, mucho gusto.
This is the first time I talked to you. I talked to Andreas in the past, but with you, this is my first time, so I'm so happy. Thank you, man.
Okay, great, man. I wish I could speak Spanish as well as Andreas.
He's very good at talking in Spanish. Perfect. Well,
Yeah, he's very good.
we don't have too much time, so
Okay.
let's get started. Please introduce yourself just the way you'd like to be introduced.
My name is Derrick Green from Sepultura, and I love metal music.
Great, great. So, Javier, go on, please.
Yes, very well, it's been wonderful to have you. I saw you 2 times when you were in Ecuador. Actually, the visit Sepultura did to Ecuador is fantastic. I mean, it was iconic. It was 2004, actually.
Oh, wow.
And
Long time ago.
long ago, yeah. And we were really excited. And I mean, you know, we wanted to see you, man. I mean, you were the new vocalist for Sepultura, and we were so excited. Man, what a presence. What a voice, man. Really great.
Thank you.
A lot of friends, we agreeing that we don't want to see you, man, in the mosh pit. You will roll over us, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you an interesting fact about the visit of Sepultura to Ecuador in 2004. Nobody came to Ecuador before. After you guys visit Ecuador, a lot of bands were actually going, and that's really great. We are very, very much thankful with Sepultura and the door you opened for all the other bands that we actually enjoy today. It's been great, man. We enjoy you a lot to having you those days. Going to your, excuse me?
It was a pleasure, yeah.
Thanks, man. Great. Going to your new production, which is, I mean, it's amazing, guys. I mean, what a crew you have. I mean, Alex Skolnick, Scott Ian, being wonderful, David Townsend, David Ellefson. I mean, I know that it's not really a record, it's been a process, right? What is the part that you enjoy the most of all these Sepultura? I mean, what's the iconic track that you said, well, this is the one? I know you love all of them, but one is special.
Well, I think, you know, of course, everything was very special. Just to see the enjoyment that people got out of it, you know, fans that were watching Sepultura, joining us every Wednesday was fantastic to get the feedback from people who were stuck at home. They couldn't leave to go anywhere, and how excited they were to see the performances. And I was really thankful that a lot of the artists were able to do it, and they participated, and the sound was great. And so it was exciting to add new life into those songs. You know, it was great hearing the personality of each individual played on those songs. So it really became something very special, and a special moment. You know, even stuff like, for example, one of my favorite songs is with Devin Townsend, Mask. It's a song that we don't do often, and he had never, I don't think he's ever heard the song, and it was great. He learned it in like hours. You know, he's so talented, and I knew he was going to do something very incredible. I just didn't know what it was. And when it came out, you know, it just blew my mind, and it made me fall in love with the song again. So it was really cool falling in love with all those songs over again, you know, in a different way.
Great, great. Derrick, when you started up with this podcast, was it the original idea to make a whole album with this stuff?
No, actually, it came much later. This was just something that happened naturally, where we went from performing with just the band, and then, sorry about that. Caralho, meu. And so it grew into something, you know, much more than we imagined. So once we had all the material and it sounded really good, we decided, hey, we could release this as an album. So it came after the fact.
Mhm. Javier, go on, please.
Yes. Also, would you planning to have a I don't know, another record including any other classical other bands? Maybe are you planning to have a cover probably?
Well, I mean, you never really know. There's still some, we didn't put everything on this album. So there's certain artists that we could put maybe on a bonus tracks or something like that. But we're always open to a lot of things, you know. For us, we like to do things very naturally. If it feels right and if it's in that moment, then we like to do certain things like that. But we picked 15 songs specifically for Sepultura. And so we didn't want to put everything there. And so we do have some extra stuff that we could use in the future.
Derrick, there's something strange that happens with you. I don't know, maybe 20, 23 years you're in Sepultura. And for some people, you're still the new singer. doesn't make sense to me. How do you see that?
I think there's some people that enjoy living in the past. It's hard for them to move on and to experience new things. That's everywhere, you know. That happens a lot. People are, especially as you get older, you know. So, I mean, we're all getting older, but I remember, you know, like when you would hear old people say, like, "Hey, it's not the same anymore. There aren't any good stuff happening. It's all, you know, like it was great back then." I don't want to be that person, you know. I like new stuff. I think it's important to listen to new things, especially as a musician. And I think it's one of the reasons that we've stayed relevant over so many years is that we're not afraid to try something new. We're not afraid to create new music and to get out of our comfort zone. You know, it's really important for us to evolve and to grow. So it's okay that, you know, that there's people that love to live in the past and kind of sit there. But I don't think it's very natural for us. It never has been. And I think it's, you know, we've been able to notice, you know, the different generations of fans for Sepultura, which is kind of cool to see. But there are some older fans that are come around with this new album, with Quadra, who have admitted, like, hey, I never listened to this stuff before with you, but now I like this, you know, and that's happened throughout the years. So sometimes, you know, it takes time for people to get into an album or get into new changes that have happened in the band, especially in the metal scene. You know, sometimes it can be very conservative, but I think once they see us live and see the performance, they understand a little bit more of what direction we're going, and we're okay with that.
You know, talking about this you said here in our country, I don't know, maybe all over the world too, there are a lot of people who, I don't know how to say, maybe a fan that wants to rule a band even with more authority than the band itself, and say, for example, the real
you should do this, guys.
Yes.
And the real Metallica is, and they name the albums they like. You see the same thing
all the time. I mean, it's classic, you know. I mean, there was one thing that really kills young bands is when they try to cater to their fans, and it's going to be impossible. You know, you really have to do what you truly feel as an artist, as a musician, because you're not going to make everyone happy, you know. And it's really you have to go with your own feelings. So it's important not to get so stuck into what fans are saying, especially with the internet now. You know, there's so many people in their opinions that are just all over the place. But I think that's something that we've stayed true to ourselves. You know, like I said, it's important for us to create new albums and not repeat ourselves. And I think that's something that's always been a part of Sepultura before I was even in the band. You know, you look at Roots album and you look at Beneath the Remains, they're completely different albums. You know, you could almost say and that's something that's natural. People are changing as you're in a band. You know, your life is changing. You know, some of us have families now and kids, and we travel to different places, so we're influenced by cultures and people and other musicians. So I think it's natural for us to change and not to really listen to everything that all the fans are saying. It's great to hear certain comments and things that are very positive and constructive, but definitely don't want to be ruled by that.
Of course.
Derrick, talking about coming to you actually, and especially the way you handle all your things, which is great. It's very nice to know you're straight edge. So I think you're a role model actually. I mean, you're not the kind of guy that's going to get wasted at any time. I mean, you're a guy that, you know, true at your feelings, true at your things. You know, you're a metal head. But anyway, you can say to anybody, listen. I mean, not telling what to do to somebody, but saying, listen, I am one of the greatest metalheads in the world, and here I am, sober completely. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, I think it's important to really. I think for me, you know, I like to be sober on stage and when I'm performing and doing music, because I want people to have the best show possible, and I think that's what they're expecting as fans. I grew up watching a lot of different bands and going to shows, and I always respected those musicians that gave their all, 100%. And the best musicians that I saw were the ones that were sober on stage most of the time. You know, they had like a lot more energy, a lot more power behind them, and they're also able to continue on. And so I thought that was really cool that they were able to have that longevity in music. You know, there's a lot of great musicians who were using drugs and drinking a lot and everything on stage, and they left us too early. You know, I mean, it was way too early for people like Jimi Hendrix or people like Janis Joplin, or people like what's her name, the English singer. God, it's slipping my head right now. But too many young people dying too soon because of abuse. You know, so I think for me the best way to help people is to really show the positivity that I have in my own life. You know, by example. So I'm never drinking or smoking before a show. And I feel, again, that responsibility of Brazil as well on my shoulders. You know, it's not just a metal band, it's a band that's representing Brazil, an entire country, I've felt many times. And I want to be the best representation for myself. You know, it just feels good to be able to remember shows, to remember certain events that are happening, and to have control of my life, you know.
Great. Well, this is the last, at least for me. Derrick, is there a question you are tired to answer? That one that when you hear it, you say, oh no, not again.
Probably a reunion question, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm like, why are you asking me about it? You know, it's like you probably ask, you know, somebody that, you know, that was in, you know, that's not me. That's
incredible. I mean, that question is incredible. It's just like to say, Derrick, when is gonna happen that thing that let you out of here? It's incredible.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm the right person to ask.
You should answer, I hope that never.
Well, that's all for me. I don't know if you got something more, Javier.
Yes, one last question. Okay. I'm very sure, I mean, because if I'm not wrong, your mother was a music teacher, right?
Yes.
And you originally took choir lessons, right? You had classes in choir, stuff like that, because your voice is obviously quite low and a lot of presence. You're a bass baritone, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, correct.
As you've been doing growlings, you know, and yelling and, you know, singing in the stage, how's your voice right now? Do you think you can do the things that you were doing years ago, or is being evolving to just a metalhead? What do you think?
I think I'm still capable of doing a lot of stuff. I just really need to have it exercise, you know, like as far as working out my voice. So I need to be touring and to performing live, which is the best exercise for my voice. I believe I'm capable of still doing a lot of different things in my voice. I'm still learning to do a lot of different things. So it's a lot of fun, you know, coming from that whole background of hardcore, punk rock, also with choir and learning classical music and learning how to breathe and things like that. But I'm still expanding and trying different things, even with the clean singing with Sepultura, you know, on the last album. Working with Jens Bogren was one of the reasons I wanted to work with him, is because he's great at bringing out clean vocals in a very powerful way and becoming very dynamic in heavy music. So for me, it's still a fun process, and playing live shows is the best form of exercise and training for it. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that.
Great, great.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, Derrick. I like to ask you, just if you want, could you please say hello to Espectro FM Argentina? It's my radio station, and I like to have Espectro FM.
Espectro
FM
okay.
Argentina, and that's all.
Okay. Hey, Espectro Argentina. This is Derrick Green from Sepultura. We hope to see you soon on a live show once they're back again. So stay with us, keep in touch, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, man.
Finally, Derrick, can you say hello to all of us in Headbangers Latinoamerica, just to consolidate that you were here?
All right. Hola, amigos de Latinoamerica. It's a pleasure. We can't wait to tour again throughout of all Latin America and South America, Central America as well. So looking forward to being back on the road.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Derrick.
man.
Wonderful to meet you.
Oh yeah,
Great.
mucho gusto. Thank you.
Thank
Ciao,
you.
ciao. Thank you very much.
Derrick, that was all for today. Thank you very much.
Okay.